In this video, we're going to talk about my TNA trade where I have 500 shares. I want to write a covered call on 300 of them, but I don't want the market maker to assign my unprofitable shares. I want him to take certain shares. We're going to talk about how that works in this video. Plus, I'm going to show you that trade I ended up doing. Stick around. I know you're going to like this one. Hey, welcome back everyone. It is time for another red hot cover call video. Well, hey, look, today we're going to talk about my TNA trade where I have 500 shares. I want to use 300 of them to write a covered call. But here's the deal. If I'm assigned, I want to make sure the market maker takes the right shares. I do not want my not profitable shares to be taken. I want them to take the shares that are profitable. I have 300 of them. So here's the deal. I'm going to talk about how that works today because there's no option, no pun, to select the shares you want to be taken. Okay, so we're going to talk about that here today. If you've never been to my channel and you like what you're hearing, I want you to subscribe to the channel. It's right there. It's free. I come back every week, show you timely and relevant covered call trades. And we talk about them so you can learn something. That's the key here. I come back every single week. I show you a trade. We talk about it so maybe you learn something. If you like what you hear today, bang that like button. It lets me know you like what I'm doing. Now what we're doing is this. We're talking about I own 500 shares of TNA. 200 of them, not so profitable. 3 of them, basically at the money. So if I write an at the money covered call and my shares are taken away, I need to make sure my broker gives the right shares to that person. Okay? So how that happens is not automatic. Okay? There's a rule called first in, first out. Depending on the brokerage, they're going to come right in, take any shares available, usually first in, first out, meaning the original shares I bought, which I'm now down considerably, those might come out of the account first, which means those shares I'd take a hella loss while I have the other shares basically at the money. Now I know you're probably sitting there saying it doesn't matter, you're reducing cost basis by buying these new shares, but that's not the case. I buy shares, I write covered calls on those shares, whether I'm up or down does not matter. Those 200 shares that you see right here, for which I am down 32%, I do not want the market maker to take those. I want them to take the shares for which I'm only down about 3%. Or at the money, when I write this covered call, which I'm going to show you, I'm basically going to be at the money. I don't mind having those shares taken away. I just cannot have them take away the shares for which I'm down, cost basis of 58 when TNA is trading in the 30s. Many of you might not know this. If I write a covered call on 300 of the shares and they take my shares, my brokerage is going to go in and grab 300 shares. Does not matter which ones I pick. They're just going to snag them. They might snag first in, first out. Notice these shares that I'm down on, I bought those last year. First in. That means they'll take those and give to the call buyer. Now, I don't want that to happen. So what do I have to do? Okay, this is how it works. When you buy and sell stock, you could actually go to an expanded trade board. You could actually select the stocks you want to sell, right? You could sell your unprofitable ones, maybe taxed harvest or something like that. But when we do options, totally different. There's no ability to select what shares you want to put to a call buyer. Okay, so here's how it works. On expiration, assignment has happened. The way my brokerage works is this. I have up to 2 days to call them, let them know what shares I want them to take. Now, they never said you can do this online. I have to call them and tell them which ones I want to be given to the call buyer. So this is very important. Again, it's a little bit of information that could go a long way because I'm sure, like me, had my shares been assigned and I come into my account and realize they've taken the shares that are down, I'd have been upset. Because I didn't want those shares to go away. I want to try to rebound and write cover calls against them, right? Just know, when you write a cover call against your shares, you have shares where maybe you bought 300 here and 300 there, and you're trying to write cover calls on both of them. You do not want your shares taken away. You do want certain shares to go to certain call buyers. You need to call your broker after shares get assigned. And for me, I have up to 2 days to do that. I wanted to share that with you today. I hope that makes sense. Google first in, first out. That usually pertains to when you buy stock, but it really does work with covered calls too. Now let's talk about that TNA trade I ended up doing with those 300 shares, and we'll talk about why I picked that strike price. Now, before we get to the charts, let's actually look at the trade. TNA was trading at 39.67. Again, I wanted some action. The 40-50 strike, although it's not perfect, it doesn't make me completely clean. It's close enough. Look at the premium, $2.45. This is a March 31st trade, so there's still a lot of time, about 32 days. I did 3 contracts, and I'm going to collect $735. Now, what I want you to understand is this. Although it looks like this may not be that profitable of a trade, I want you to look at this trade right here. This is the close trade I did when I bought the shares originally. When I bought the shares originally, I wrote what seemed to be about a 42-day covered call. Turns out I got $3.78 for that. Same expiration. Notice what happened. The stock market fell. I got paid $3.78. I bought it back for $1.76, which meets my 50% guideline rule, where within the first couple weeks, if my option falls more than 50%, we buy it back and look for another opportunity. And look what we've done. Literally in 2 weeks, we found another opportunity to write another covered call, right? We still have 32 days left. That's how long this trade would have went. So look at how I'm double dipping here. Absolutely love it. Here's the deal. I make $606 on the first trade, money on the table. If this trade goes to expiration, have my shares taken away, I make $735. That's approximately $1,300 in the wallet. And if you do the math on that, $1,300 in the wallet for 300 shares, I don't make that if I'm giving my shares away, basically at my cost basis. I bought the shares, wrote the cover call, bought it back, wrote another one. If my shares are taken away at 40.50, basically 20 cents under my strike price or my stock purchase price, but we've pocketed over $1,300. That's what selling premium does if you learn this investment strategy. Now let's go over to the charts and I'll show you exactly why I placed the first trade and why I'm placing this one. Now, by now, you know I have a membership, and I'm telling you what, the members already got all these trades, and here's the deal. If you're listening right now, I'm putting together beginner trades, intermediate trades, and advanced trades. In fact, I'm putting together a video right now for a beginning trade. There's a stock right now that is absolutely trading perfect for any covered call beginning trader. I'm going to even do it. It's so simple, so easy, and I'll tell you what, so conservative. It's one of the biggest pharmaceutical companies on the planet, and I'll tell you what, the charts are setting up beautifully. I think I'm going to do it tomorrow. In fact, if you did this trade that I'm going to talk about tomorrow, you could actually make 3% in a 30-day window. But hey, look, you have to be a member to get any of that stuff. On YouTube, I show you one trade, maybe 2 trades a week, but members see everything. Hey, look, go over to cptdashboard.com, click Upgraded Dashboard, and get your 1 free month and get the phone app. The phone app is fabulous. You don't need to be sitting in front of your computer or your email. The phone app is one that even I use to watch some of my own videos. Love getting jacked up by that dude on screen. cptdashboard.com, click Upgraded Dashboard, get your 1 free month. All right, the video is running a bit long here. Let's get this done. Remember, when I bought TNA shares, we just talked about this trend line. It was beautiful. Market's getting pounded. And when they recovered slightly last week and over the past month, TNA was rallying with it. So with that said, I decided I absolutely loved this support line right here. I felt that even if TNA would sell off to 40, it would hang. We also talked about if it didn't and what I thought would happen. And sure enough, it actually didn't. It slipped under 38. But again, in that video where I talk about this, you're going to see at the end of this video here, we talk about what I think could happen. And I prepared for that. And that's where we're at today. Instead of 1 covered call, we're going to knock down 2. We're going to make $1,300 if our shares are taken away, where I'd have made nothing had I not written the covered calls. What I see here is this. This is absolutely playing the way I thought. Notice how TNA is absolutely just bouncing off of that nice little 38 number. We're going to stick with that. I actually think that the markets felt the Fed, then they got the CPI, and they're kind of digesting it now. There's about 3 or 4 days, man, when the markets were heavily down. You could see where TNA just absolutely gets crushed. But It's only 5 points, and that's something we can manage here. It is a 3x leverage DTF, right? So if it is going to hold this line right here at about 38, I like that. I'm going to go ahead and write that 45.50 covered call, and if my shares are taken away, you know the profit projection. If it's not, and this thing trades on this line, then we know the strike price I'm going to pick, 40 to 41, because you know where my cost basis is at. It's at 40.78. This would be the perfect covered call if it traded in this window, because if I keep my shares, I could keep writing 30-day covered calls. I anticipate my shares will be taken away. If they are, we collect the money, we keep all the premium, and we'll do it again. That's what we do. Here's the deal. The members are going to see it all. If you want to be a member and you want to get that beginner's trade that I'm about to send out to the members, you need to sign up. CPTdashboard.com, click upgraded dashboard. I'm telling you now, you'll want to be a part of that bad boy. And it's a beginner's trade. I'll tell you what, man, this is probably one of my favorite trades, most conservative trades, and you can make 3%. 3% in a month? Yeah, that's right. That's how we selling premium investors do it. Hey, look, I'm going to leave it right there. If you like what you heard today, do me a favor, bang that like button. It lets me know you like what I'm doing. Head over to Facebook, search The Real CPT Dashboard, follow my page, because I'm going to post there what that beginner's trade was. Be safe, be healthy, most important, be lucky. Until next time, may all your covered calls be profitable.